We've got a ton of things to go over, starting off with the broken market. Now, if you haven't been living under a rock, you probably were pretty familiar with the fact that the Steam community market was absolutely broken. You cannot list new active items on it, and therefore we saw the increase of a lot of items significantly in price, specifically when we're talking about those M4 and FAMAS skins, which we'll get to in a quick second. Now, a lot of this growth did seem a little normal at the time, but unfortunately the majority of this has been rolled back already. Things like this do actually increase prices, ironically, because most people just don't really get back to that lower level. They're a little too impatient, and therefore it could increase prices by 5 or 10% on specific items depending on their liquidity. Now, talking about those M4 FAMAS skins, this is where we're going to be seeing the most apparent growth, because obviously they had the update where the majority of them got the boost, and that's roughly around the time that the Steam community market was broken, so we saw the prices increase rather quickly. I definitely think if you're looking to get into these skins, the window has passed if you're trying to make profit on it necessarily, because obviously the majority of the growth has already happened, and we're getting to the period where they're toning back in price. If you want a skin, obviously go for it if it's a play skin, but as an investment, I don't think you're going to be able to squeeze out any margin on this specific opportunity. SkinSwap just went ahead and dropped their biggest update ever. Not only are they sponsoring you with that top link in the description, but they're also introducing backpacks, allowing you to buy any item on the site, and it's going to be personally held for you. Their trading feature is often told to be the best in the business, offering near instant trades, taking under 30 seconds right now. And their selling feature is instant as well, offering PayPal, crypto, and tons of different options if you're looking to get your money this second. And finally, they've always got that 40% deposit bonus if you're looking to pick up some brand new skins, so try them out today. There's no reason not to. Now, we'll get into the prices of cases in just a quick second, but remember a couple weeks ago when I was talking about the fact that Steam was really struggling with cases, specifically getting cases listed on the market. We were seeing the lowest number we had seen in the history of the game. Well, yeah, this broken market really didn't help it at all. If we want to look at it, we are now once again back down to the lowest number we have ever seen, roughly sitting around 1.1 million by the time this estimate was taken, which is the lowest number in history. And it's absolutely insane how a market glitch like that can actually have pretty strong impacts when we're talking about the prices of something like this, which we'll get to in a quick second. It really comes down to the fact that we have once again flipped this market. We are now unboxing more cases than the supply is coming in, and it's by a rather significant margin too. It's actually about the highest number that we get to in a period like this. If we want to look at the long term, you can see that this number has been growing significantly, and the fact is it's kind of reached that informal peak right around that level that we've seen before. And it's very interesting, and the fact is it has some pretty dire consequences when we're talking about the prices of these cases. Now, I say dire consequences, I want to use that term a little bit more loosely because it really depends on what side of the coin you're on. If you've got cases already, if you want to look at the prices of them, it's going to be a very nice ride. That's because obviously when a commodity is running out of supply, theoretically if the demand is staying the same, which we've definitely seen it stay relatively consistent with these unboxing numbers, the price is probably going to be increasing for said commodity. Now, that's really good when we're talking about our rare cases, because obviously if we want to look at the estimated supply of all of these, we can see that as a general trend we're decreasing, but if we want to tone in on specific cases, we can see just how crazy the decrease is getting. Something like the clutch case, even though it's got a fair amount of supply to go, you can see the supply rate of change. It's going down quite significantly, and it's consistent every single day. There's not a day where the supply goes up, and it's like that for nearly every single rare case. The only ones that are a little bit different are the ones like your Bravo, your Weapon, those really expensive ones that people are more inclined to sell because they're actually worth a couple $100s. Overall, this is a really good opportunity if you're invested into the rare cases, because I think we've got a lot of strong potential on the horizon for a lot of these prices to once again creep back up. Obviously, we've had a pretty strong month and a half, and I definitely don't think something like this is going to be stopping anytime soon with the data that we're looking at here. Now, just a couple of days ago, we got the start of the Chinese New Year, something that I think a lot of people still believe has a very strong impact on the overall market, and at this point, I really don't think that I'm in that same position. The truth is, if we're talking about unboxings, we've seen a relatively consistent unboxing number, whether it's not necessarily due to the Chinese New Year. If we're talking about skins, we've seen an increase in the price of skins, maybe 5 to 10%. You could say that's because of the Chinese New Year, and if you really want to argue that, I'm not going to fight you on it, but overall, the Chinese New Year has kind of gotten to the point now where people aren't really necessarily investing all that money into CS, especially at the level and the prices we're at now. I would say it makes a lot more of a negligible difference than anything else. Now, one change that's a little bit interesting that I think has kind of been forgotten just because of everything going on is going to be the fact that the Dust 2 souvenir package is in. We've got the Vertigo souvenir package being out and the potential train on the horizon. Now, I'm going to ignore train because it's a little bit speculative, but talking about Dust 2, if we want to look at it, if we want to look at the previous souvenir packages, Dust 2 is still rather expensive if we're looking at the previous majors, which is quite interesting and brings me to Vertigo right here. Obviously, Vertigo is the one that just got removed from the previous major, and if we want to look at it, obviously there is some demand for it, but I definitely think it's something that a lot of people have kind of pushed behind them. We talk about it, it's not going to be a Dust 2 souvenir package just because the M4 imminent danger is not something that people care that much about, but I definitely think there is an opportunity here. If you've got still your Shanghai coins, you got a little extra money for souvenir packages specifically, it could be an opportunity, and that's all I'm gonna say. If we want to talk about things overall, I think we're in a very strong position moving forward. If we want to talk about the skins market, we've just seen previously with the updates for the M4A4 and the FAMAS that people are still very interested in the skins market. Overall, we're seeing a general uptrend. Even if it's not much, the skins market is not one that's tend to move a lot. If we want to talk about the case market, obviously we just talked about it. There is a massive opportunity here. We've seen massive growth already, and I definitely don't think that's slowing down. The only area that's really struggling that I don't think is going to continue to keep up with the rest of it is going to be the sticker market when we're talking about major stickers. And honestly, that's okay. Obviously, we know that it's just because they've been repeating these time and time again. I think we're in such a strong position overall because the only market I see right now that I'm not interested in is the major sticker market. And I think that speaks volume to the fact that everything else is doing well, or it's doing on par with what we'd expect. And if we want to look at the player count numbers, we're up nearly to the all-time high, and there's no really new content inside of the game. We've got the Armory, which we'll talk about in a quick second, but other than that, there's not anything super interesting going on at a cosmetics level. Now, talking about everything to do with the Armory, in the previous video we showed off this graph right here, which means if you're trying to make an investment into the collection specifically, you're going to want to check out the graphic. But otherwise, if we want to look at the application numbers, the character craft and the elemental craft still seem to be dominating in their respective fields. People are really big into these stickers, and I think that's a great opportunity if these do end up getting removed. If we want to talk about the unboxing ROI, we can see roughly all across the board, the actual best thing is going to be the character craft stickers, which is very interesting. Elemental have dropped down all the way to number 5, and your collections are going to be roughly 130 to 115% respectively, and your charms roughly sitting where we saw them previously. We have still not seen a brand new limited edition item, and that's what everyone's looking at. Now, there's actually a lot to talk about when we get to a crashing market. Specifically, there's a lot of overlap that happens in the real world compared to CS, and one specifically is going to be the crypto market. Now, I don't like talking about the crypto market a lot because it's not really a super interesting topic, but the truth is the crypto market has been quite up and down, especially with the real life situations that have been going on, and it's actually a very positive thing for the CS market. Traditionally, we see a little bit of an inverse operation. When crypto is going up, the CS market tends to suffer a little bit because people are pulling out of the CS market going into the crypto market. Now we're potentially going to be seeing the opposite, as the crypto market is suffering a little bit in the short term here. Obviously, I'm not speculating on what's going to happen in the long term. It's not my area of knowledge, but we do see this inverse operation, and that could be a very positive thing for the CS market moving forward. Obviously, it's a very rough trend, and I want to make it very clear that it is just that, but the opportunity is there. The past data shows that this is the opportunity. Obviously, this is about as rough gets when we're talking about an outlook, but it's something that once again is looking for a strong future of CS. Lastly, I want to thank everyone that's been keeping up with my channel. These are my YouTube earnings. If you're ever interested, I've always got them, but it is my birthday when you're watching this, and I am so excited for this opportunity. I want to thank y'all for letting me do this for you, and it's obviously my birthday, so I'm going to be taking a couple days off, and just having that opportunity is absolutely amazing. But I want to thank everyone that watches and likes these videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.